Told you I was coming with it. And so now I'm here, man. Grandpa MC. I might wait. I'm gonna wait a little bit. I don't know. I'm gonna wait a little bit till maybe somebody come, but I'm gonna just kick it off in a little bit. But man, I got the full list.
Yo, we gonna do this like this.
Lord number 1, LeBron number 2. That's crazy. 3, Kareem. 4, Magic. 5, Bill Russell. 6, Shaq. 7, Tim Duncan. 8, Larry Bird. 9, Wilt. 10, Steph Curry. That's an outrage, man. That's an outrage. Like, some of the ones that I got in my top 10 and a lot of people's top 10 is about, it's within that 10. The only two that's like obvious and people didn't want to say it on different podcasts was whatever. LeBron number 2 and Steph Curry number 10. It just on that the list alone, just the way it's numbered, Steph Curry is greater than LeBron James. So how can LeBron be number 2 and Steph Curry be way down at 10? That's crazy. And it, like, to me, great big men are always going to go over a smaller man. That center has to be great. Hey, what's going on? Hey there. Hey there. But Larry Bird and Magic should be back to back. However you want to flip them, they should be back to back. Kareem and Wilt should be close, and Bill Russell. Shaq should be further down. That's just in this 10. Then you got 11, Kobe, 12, Hakeem, 13, Kevin Durant, which is, anyway, Oscar Robertson, 14, Jerry West, 15, Kevin Garnett, I got it wrong last night, Kevin Garnett, number 16, 17, Joker, 18, Dirk Nowitzki, 19, David Robinson, and Dr. J, number 20. That's another. Are you serious? Kobe doesn't even have no business being in the top at 11. They try to make it nice and put it 11. They try to be slick to not totally like shaft them, put them right at 11, right after 10. Then Hakeem, and all props to Kobe, man, but Hakeem was greater than Kobe. You would have had to see him, man. You would have had to see him. And he all put it together. In 2 years, they won the championship. But he was always killing people on the low post, man. Always. Dr. J should be way higher. Now, some people got him in the top 10. I don't have him in the top 10. I would have him at 11 if I had it to do over, because I didn't even have him in the top in from 11 to 20. I didn't have him in that. And, that's my bad. Part of that, just to be honest, is a little bit of a ire toward Dr. J, because Dr. J was one of the original haters. And that was true. Dr. J felt a certain way because Jordan came in, he was making that money. And it wasn't even just about that. It's just how quick. And, when you at the heights of where Dr. J was, and somebody came in that, that's saying, whoa, like the new thing, you could take that a certain kind of way. So I think Dr. J, Magic, Iceman, Isaiah, a lot of them players that was in before Jordan felt a certain way about Jordan when he came in. You can see it in the Olympic trial. The Olympic trials, the Olympic team went 9-0 against NBA talent. NBA teams that had Magic, Bird, McHale, Danny Ainge, Isaiah. I think Iceman was on the team. You know, it was a few. Matter of fact, they had the whole front Celtics front line on one team, and Jordan and Patrick Ewing, Joe Klein. What's my boy name from Oklahoma? Dang, I can't remember his name right now, but he was from Oklahoma, left-handed. Wayman Tisdale, uh, Wood. What was his name? He was a defensive guard, but he ended up being a referee for the NBA for a long time. He was on the Olympic team. They went 9-0 against the NBA. It was some all-stars, you might as well say. And a lot of them dudes Jordan took by surprise. They didn't expect none of that. So they felt a certain kind of way because like their spot was gonna be took. So I mean that all that envy and some of it jealousy, whatever. A lot of them hit it good, but like those older guys really didn't care for Jordan like that. You know what I'm saying? Not saying they hated him. They was like, you know, hey, little dude, you know what's up? Like Wilt said that. Mark Eaton said that. A few people said that when Jordan was coming in, but when Jordan came in, he showed them. So I mean, like some people have him number one. I don't have him number one. I got him like number 3 or 4, somewhere up in there, because he's under Kareem, Bill Russell, and Wilt in my book. And it's like a big man is gonna trump a guard all the time in my mind. Hey, what's going on? Appreciate y'all coming through. So then you got, I went long on that Dr. J thing, but I can make a video about that. But anyway, David Robinson should be higher. Dirk Nowitzki cannot be over Jerry West and Hakeem. I mean, well, hold up. He's over David Robinson and Dr. J. He can't do that. I mean, they can't be Mose Malone now, Karl Malone now. Dwayne Wade, I take Dirk over Dwayne Wade because Dirk went head to head up on him on Miami, and he took him. And they was trying to, you know, clown him too at the same time. So that loss in 2011, even though Miami came back and won next 2 years, in my mind, like it was okay, but it wasn't, you know, a strong championship. That was a, you know, manufactured. They said, and it's after the fact now, they talking so much, like me, but they talking, and Dwayne Wade openly said that when Kobe won the title in 2010, he shut the TV off and called LeBron. Come on now. Y'all the two best players in the East, and then y'all gonna team up. Then y'all gonna bring a Chris Bosh that's been hidden that was, you know, languishing in Toronto, taking the team to the playoffs. Now he was holding his end down. Matter of fact, just a sidetrack on Chris Bosh. Chris Bosh had this commercial for the NBA All-Star game. He was like, you know, asking for his vote, you know, for people to put in a vote. It's on YouTube. It's real funny, man. And Chris Bosh was funny back in the day. That's what he was known for when he was on Toronto, the early days. But all three of them team up. They cannot be over any player that held his team down through thick and thin. I'm sorry. They won a championship. They were good players, but nah, they're not going to trump a player that held his team down all the way through, like Jordan, Bird, Magic, Tim Duncan, Dr. J. I remember Dr. J, just to get back on Dr. J. That was like a public sentiment. I mean, a public thought that was out there when, you know, Dr. J was getting up in years and he didn't win no championship. They were close a few times, but they never did win. Like, it was a public sentiment like that. We want Doc to win one. Back in the day, I can remember that. And I wasn't even watching, but I remember like a lot of people like, yeah, Doc got one. So you know, like if you hold your team down,
Yo, we're gonna do this like this.
you cannot be trumped by a player that hop from team to team in my book. That's just my book. So then you got Moses Malone, Karl Malone, Dwayne Wade, the Giannis. They got Giannis out of the Kumpo. Giannis. They got Giannis out there. Then they got Barkley, Elgin Baylor, Isaiah Thomas, Scottie Pippen, John Stockton, Chris Paul. Now this one, this this is when we get into the regular high performance players, not necessarily, they all stars and all that, but like they might have like maybe 2 or 3 years where they made all-star team out of 9, maybe 9 years of the being in, stuff like that. And somebody that got left off, I thought about him before, but I'm thinking about him now that I'm just running these people off. Chris Mullin can't get bogus, especially in after this, because he was on the dream team. He was on the dream team. Appreciate y'all coming through. Hit that button up there. Hit that button for me. So then you got going to 30 to 39. You got John Havlicek, Kawhi Leonard, Jason Kidd, James Harden, Steve Nash, Allen Iverson, Bob Cousy, Bob Pettit, Clyde Drexler. So I'm these last 2 stacks. I'm a Pippen guy. I've said it on plenty of videos. I got a couple videos about Scottie Pippen, man. Scottie Pippen is one of my favorite players of my time watching basketball. But if you gonna put Dirk, nah, I'm not even gonna go there. You can't put, I ain't gonna talk crazy. He should be closer to Julius Erving, though. If wherever Dr. J is, Scottie Pippen shouldn't be too far behind, because his drive to the hoop was Dr. J like. He had the long arms and the hands, so he could hold that ball, and he was doing all kind of dunks. He was a transition nightmare a lot of times. And off the steal, him and Jordan. I'm rambling, but James Harden cannot be over Allen Iverson. Yo. James Harden shouldn't even be this close. He shouldn't be this close. This top, we going at 30s. Nah, he should be somewhere in the I want to say 50s. Somewhere in the 50s. They got Patrick Ewing too low. Too low. Patrick Ewing should be up there, man. Matter of fact, I had Patrick Ewing in my 11 to 20. Patrick Ewing way too low, man. Then you got Rick Barry, George Gervin, Walt Frazier, George Mikan, Anthony I'm going to stop right there, man. Anthony Davis is top 50. If you want to say talent, cool. But Anthony Davis is not top 50, man. They put him in the 75 by affiliation. Anthony Davis been hurt way too many times, and too many points in his career to be considered a top 50 player. I'm sorry, Anthony Davis, your talent is immense. I like you as a player. You get it done, but you're not. I'm sorry, not top 50, man. Then you got Kevin McHale, Elvin Hayes, Russell Westbrook is top 50. Stop the madness. I'm sorry, Russ, man, but no, you're not top 50, man. Not with the missed layups in transition with you by yourself. You can't. I'm sorry, man. You can't. Many times. I love your hustle, man. I told you know what I'm saying. I made a video. I made a video saying this much. You are not top 50. I'm sorry. Then you got who's it? Paul Pierce. Paul Pierce is not top 50. I love Paul Pierce, man. Paul Pierce is a player, man. Gets it done. Not top 50. Not over Dominique Wilkins. Not over Dominique Wilkins. That takes me to 50. Dominique 50. Ray Allen 51. Dwight Howard 52. Gary Payton 53. Reggie Miller 54. Bill Walton 55. Dolph Schayes 56. Luka Doncic 59. Luka Doncic is not even nowhere close to being done with his career. I'm sorry. He can be in top 100, but he can move up as the years go. But not at this point. Homeboy couldn't even get it. You know, he was falling out in the finals. He was cashing in on some shots, yeah. But he was not what a superstar player is supposed to be looking like in the finals, man. I'm sorry. Luka Doncic is not. He's not in this range. I'm sorry. You got Willis Reed, 58. Tracy McGrady, 59. 60, Melo. And 61, Bob McAdoo. Bob McAdoo should be higher than them. Look him up. Let me look at some of these comments. Y'all might be giving me something. What up? What up? Okay, so we in the top 50. We top 61. Crazy. Now then here comes some more madness. Paul Gasol, 62. James Worthy, 63. Damian Lillard at 64. Damian Lillard should not be in the top 100. Man, look, man, he ain't even greater than Clyde Drexler. We talking about in Trailblazer lore. Damian Lillard is not over Clyde Drexler, man. He ain't even over Buck Williams. And then that takes me to Buck Williams. Buck Williams ain't in the top 100. I'm sorry, man. Buck Williams should be in the top 100, man. I'm sorry. You can tell. Look, man, I'm going to just get off on Bleacher Report just a little bit. Look, I'm going to reiterate. I used to read Bleacher Report's website religiously. They had some great stories, man. A lot of good insight into situations and all that. They was more accurate back then. They was about the sport. A lot of people, and we getting all hype. I'm catching myself getting overexcited over this stuff, but I mean, I've watched this stuff for a long time, so it's hard for me to not have an opinion on it because I've watched so many years. So I mean, it's kind of like a bad habit a little bit, because I mean, like I'm old now, and, you know, this stuff is really it's not. I'm not as emotionally invested as I used to be, but I mean, like I still, I'm still interested in the stuff. So I mean, like a lot of older dudes are caught up in this, man. Happy birthday, RH husband. Happy birthday. But again, Damian Lillard is nothing against him as a player. He showed himself to be selfish, mad selfish these last 3 or 4 years, as opposed to what he was presented as in his first part of his career. Team guy, family, loyal, does his job, just can't get over the hump, all that. That fell apart once he went to Milwaukee and he was with a winning team. He couldn't even help Giannis get to the, and whatever happened, his Achilles, that was terrible. That was terrible. God bless him, man. You know, speedy recovery. But like, he's in the twilight of his career. He might not come back, you know what I'm saying? But, and he's a guard too. Like, it's a lot of stuff into this. But like, Damian Lillard at this point in his career is not top 100. And he,
Yo, we gonna do this like this.
You know, if you're gonna put Joe Dubois at 96, you can put Damian Lillard at 96. I ride with that. I'll ride with that. But okay, so then we got Vince Carter, 65. Joel Embiid. Where Joel Embiid at, man? When the game's going on, where Joel Embiid at, man? He be on the bench. Now he's been showed a lot of skill. One of the most skilled big men of all time. Skilled. But not top 60. If you want to put Damian Lillard 96, if I can go with that, I go with Embiid like at 100. Because they got Artis Gilmore at 100. And Artis Gilmore should be higher. So I'll go with that. I'll go with that. But hold up. Got Robert Parrish. Hold on, I'll skip. Dennis Rodman, 67. Robert Parrish, 68. Kyrie Irving, 69. Kyrie Irving hit one of the biggest shots in Cleveland history that puts him above 60, I say. I mean, like, that he's about right. If you know, like, I could go up, up, not further down, though. Kyrie Irving was an integral part of that championship win against Golden State in 2016. I think that's when Cleveland won it. But okay, I mean, Kyrie Irving, yeah, okay, we roll with that. Wes Unseld, 70. Again, a lot of people don't know Wes Unseld, man. Wes Unseld was a 6'8" center, dominating rebounder. He could be higher. Chris Bosh, 71. We were just talking about him. Chris Bosh, unfortunate for him that he suffered a blood clot in his leg that took his career, and people didn't see everything they could see from Chris Bosh, man. That's the sad thing. Chris Bosh could have been way up high on this list if he would have had a longer career, because he was about to put on a show in Miami after LeBron left, but that's when the issue popped up, and he never came back. He tried to come back, but it just didn't happen. Chris Bosh, I'm cool with Chris Bosh. He could be high. He's higher than McGrady, though. And speaking of McGrady, man, I've gone through this list and Penny Hardaway hadn't come up, man. How is that? I'm looking at the camera now. I'm looking at the comments, but I'm reading. I appreciate it, though. Hit that button, man. Hit that button for me. All right, so then we got Paul Arizin, 70. He should be higher. Old school. Hal Greer, too. 73. 74. Dave Cowens should be higher. Manu Ginobili, 75. He's greater than he's greater than James Harden. So if you're gonna put James Harden that high, you could switch him out with Ginobili, and nobody would be like complaining. Serious. That's how topsy-turvy this list is, man. You got Alex English, 76, should be higher. Pete Maravich, he should be higher. He should be in the 50s. He was top 50 for a long time. Then when they went to the 75, he he was, I forgot
We're
that,
gonna do this like
because I
this.
don't be
I
paying attention to all these lists like I used to. Like back when I was younger, I'd be like, oh, and it wouldn't even, like it would just confirm how I was thinking with the players. Sometimes those lists for me, but like now it's done got out of hand because you got so many people that's influenced by other things. They not talking about basketball for the purity of it. I'm talking about basketball for the purity of it. You can have a different opinion from me if you want, but as long as we have a healthy rapport and conversation about it, uh, without trying to cut each other's necks off verbally, like that, like trying to all that insulting and trying to act like you just the utmost expert on basketball is that takes a lot out of it, because it's snobbery, it's snob basketball talk. So getting back to the point, man. Getting back to the point. You got Paul George 78. No, further down, and it's a question to me: should he be in? Should he be in it? Just from the product he's put on the floor these last 4 or 5 years, man. Well, they're going back to Oklahoma City the last time when he played like legit basketball. Oklahoma City.
we're gonna do this
That was
like
a long
this.
time ago. But Paul George, no. Grant Hill should be higher than Paul George, most def. Another case of injuries, man. Grant Hill was gonna take the torch, man, but being a stand-up guy in Detroit, trying to prove to everybody that, like, I think that was part of it, because like he was gone. You know what I'm saying? The Doug Collins, being under Doug Collins for that long, had wore him out. He was ready to, for a new thing. I think, yeah, Doug Collins might have got fired after Grant Hill. Anyway, Grant Hill hurt his, like severely injured his ankle in the playoffs in 2000, and from that point, man, he didn't get right, and he never got right. But he was a serviceable player after he got to Phoenix, and he went to Orlando. He was hurt most of that time. He only played maybe like 50 games combined out of 2-3 years, and then they traded him to Phoenix, if I could remember right. And dealing with Phoenix's trainers, he said that got him to the point where he could be a serviceable player, and he had turned into like a defensive guy later on in his career, even though he could hit a shot or two. But like his dynamic athletic ability was like cut in half after the injury, and he would have been way higher if he would have stayed in. I mean, if he would have just stayed healthy. So Grant Hill should be way over Paul George and a lot of these other dudes. Then you got Nate Archibald, Tiny Archibald, Dikembe Mutombo, 81, Bob Lanier, 82, should be higher. Jimmy Butler, if he's 83, I can kind of roll with that, because for his playoff history, what he's done, he'll be mentioned for a while. Just on the time in Miami when he took Miami to the finals twice, if I'm not mistaken. Shaq did that, LeBron did that, and he ain't, he ain't thought about on those terms that type of player. But for him to be the main engine behind that, he gets a lot of props. So he could be a little higher. He could be a little higher, if you wanted to argue that. Adrian Dantley, 84. Adrian Dantley was just a scorer. So like Durant tops him in my opinion. Durant, LeBron, you know what I'm saying? Like that's the type of dude that LeBron topped. Like them scores from back in the day, they were just strictly scores. LeBron is a scorer, but he can pass, and that's the honest truth. Evaluating him as a player, he's not a pass first guy, but he is a passer where he'll set you up on a good night. On a good night. On a bad night, gonna turn the ball over, gonna keep it for himself. That's LeBron now. You get what I'm saying? So you got Sam Jones, 70, 85. That he should be higher. Terry Porter from the Trailblazers. If you're gonna have Terry Porter on here, where's Sam Cassell, man? Where's Sam Cassell if you got Terry Porter on there? And I'm not knocking Terry Porter. I could make an argument for Terry Porter being higher, but how you gonna have Terry Porter on there and not have another one, Rolando Blackman from Dallas? He used to give Jordan the business. MVP, I think he won the MVP in the All-Star game where he hit the free throw to send it in the overtime. It was in Seattle. Rolando Blackman was a great two guard. Not one of the greatest, but he was a great two guard. For the time he played, he was a threat. Alonzo Mourning, 89. Draymond Green, 88. From 88 to 100, Draymond Green should be lower. Top 100, I don't know. Nah, he ain't higher than Earl Monroe. He's not higher than Chris. He's not as great as Chris Webber, man. Chris Webber was, with everything that came with him, was great. He brought Sacramento. Sacramento ain't seen a team since those Webber days. So just on that strength, Chris Webber should be higher than that. Then he should be way higher than this. Way higher than this. Chauncey Billups. He's not greater than Chauncey Billups. Lenny Wilkins. No. Jason Tatum. I have to think about that. I'd have to think about that, man. Like, Jason Tatum, okay. I'm not a big Jason Tatum guy. Like, Jason Tatum to me plays kind of weak. Top 100, I don't know. If you're gonna put Jason Tatum in this list, what about Brown? What about Brown? That a lot of people would agree with me on that. I hope. I would think if you Tatum anyway. Bill Sharman 94 should be higher. Dave DeBuscher. Nope. I said that last night on my video I made. Joe Dumars was the backcourt mate of Isaiah Thomas. They went to the finals back-to-back years. Isaiah won it the first year. Dumars won it the first year, and then Isaiah came back and won it the next year. And Dumars was killing in that playoffs. If his father wouldn't have passed away, I think he would have won the MVP. That would have been 2 years in a row. But no doubt LeBron should be retired. No doubt. He done did a lot. He done had a full career, huh? Okay, so then you got Bernard King 97, Klay Thompson 99, Dave Bean 90. I'm sorry, Klay Thompson 98, Dave Bean 99, and then Artis Gilmore 100. Draymond Green is not greater than Klay Thompson. Klay, you attacking the man when he's down. He might have his mojo back. Him and Megan Thee Stallion kicking it in Dallas. Klay Thompson cool, man. Got all that water out there, man. Klay Thompson cool, but like he's not. He in his day before he got hurt, he was just as important as Steph, man. Just as important, especially on the defensive end. Ask Steph. Ask Steph that, man. So then there you have it. 100. I mentioned various players that should be in. I didn't mention Terry Cummings. I put a post on, I put a picture on the community. Like, if you want to comment, man, engage me. That's cool, man. Like, that's what I'm here for, really, because I can't talk to myself. But this is a crazy list, yo. This is a crazy list, and A lot of people uptight about it. This is the most. I done went through the whole list, so it ain't no need for me to even touch this no more. Not even on a little small video, because, like, to me, the matter is kaput. But it's gonna be a lot of talk about this. I can guarantee it, because they taking a dump on a lot of people, and it's all politics. It's all maneuvering, media, and just the before I close out, because Gilbert Arenas had a, of course they made, they had to talk about it. So the only one on that whole panel that was saying something that made sense was Rashad McCants, man. Rashad McCants was telling Gilbert, like, ain't we supposed to be the new media? Look, the media hadn't been the media of old for a long time. It ain't even about putting out information no more. Not information that you can digest on your own. It's forced down your throat now. It's agenda driven. It is what it is to me, because I understand. I came to a realization a long time ago. This stuff is sometimes it can be a little fishy. Like, we can go through the years, man. Portland in 2000 sticks out to me. Like the Lakers in 89. No, hold up. In 88. Them against the Pistons. That was fishy, because Detroit had them cold, man. Detroit had the Lakers number. They was clowning. They was clowning the Lakers. Isaiah was laughing about it when him and Magic was talking about it. He was like, y'all couldn't deal with us. They had them three guards, Dumas, him, Vinnie Johnson. They was Golden State way before Golden State. This was in 80s, late 80s. And Golden State got, hot in 2016. Detroit, I had already seen stuff like that with three guard lineup. You got the two main guards. They switch with the other guard. The other guard, he could play point, or he could play shooting guard. I've seen that before. Golden State had it back with the Run TMC days. Yeah, Chris Mullin and Mitch Richmond wasn't on that. Mitch Richmond wasn't on the list, man. Tim Hardaway wasn't on the list. Look, I can sit here. I can sit here for some more minutes. How long I've been going, man? 30 minutes on this joint. Hey, it is what it is. Chris Mullin wasn't on the list, man. Chris Mullin was not on the top 100 list. David Thompson was not on the list. These are major players that's been in the NBA, man. No doubt. It's messed up, but I know what the aim is. And like, as far as Jordan being number one, I'm gonna reiterate. Jordan ain't number one in my book. Jordan's number 4, behind Wilt, Kareem, Bill Russell. Larry Bird and Magic are right under Jordan, because Jordan did something they didn't do. See, it's that type of stuff. When you talk about championship, when you talk about Jordan, Magic, and Bird, all three of those guys won championships. They played 3 different positions: shooting guard, small forward, and point guard. But all 3 of them, they can interchange. And then if Jordan beat them, Jordan beat Magic. Now, he didn't really beat Bird. And that's the reason why I can't put LeBron over Bird. Because Bird, even in his old days, Bird was still taking it personal with Jordan. It was games where Larry Bird, now it was some games where the Bulls was like clowning the Celtics. I had this one game, I hate my brother taped over that, but it was one game where Pippen and Jordan was just running up and down the court like it wasn't nothing, man. Dunking. They was dunking on. It was a bad day for the Celtics that day. But for the most part, it was a game late of the season in like 92. Bird the Celtics and the Bulls played, and Bird was taking it to Grant and Pippen. and I think they won. They won in overtime. I think they might have been double overtime. I remember that game because I had went to the Navy right after that. I went to the Navy right after that. But like when you comparing players, okay, so if you talking about trying to differentiate who's the greater, Bird won 3, Magic won 5, Jordan won 6. So like that washes out. So then what did Jordan do to top Bird and Magic? He did something that they didn't do. He
No, we're gonna do this like this.
And he beat Magic. And I said it before in the video, I'm gonna reiterate. Jordan systematically knocked his competition down and they did not get back up. He took down New York early. He took New York down early. That's the reason why I was just so heated in after that, because Jordan handled them in like 87. Jordan handled New York in 87, 88. You get what I'm saying? They was done. They gave the Bulls some great series sometimes, especially late with, because they switched it up with John Starks and they had Greg Anthony and a couple other different players. But like the Bulls never was thinking about New York like that. They was like, okay, this one's gonna be tough, but like they always had the confidence they could beat them. Cleveland, they beat Cleveland in 88 with the shot. Never was a threat to them before. After that, they beat Philly in the playoffs multiple times. Was never a threat after that. It wasn't anybody that was. So then after Jordan had put them teams down, then he tackled the big one, Detroit, because Detroit was the one that was beating them. And once they beat Detroit, it wasn't no coming back from that. And he wasn't beatable after that. So that's the reason why he's so high up there, but you can't put him over the centers that was before him. Bill Russell was 10 championships deep. He made the Celtics a winner. He was dominating on the defensive end. If you want to, if you want to compare, think about, and I was watching a clip of him just the other day. His speed, he was tremendously fast. Bill Russell was tremendously fast. He could change ends of the court like that, man. So I mean, like the fact that he did that, won the championships, and then plus it ain't got nothing to do, but like they always try to bring off court stuff off on LeBron for LeBron.
We're gonna do this like
the stuff Bill Russell was dealing with. I don't think it's not a modern player that would deal with that. Could deal with that even if he had to. No doubt. That's right. The humbleness that Jordan came with, man, that's another thing. Like people, they talk about LeBron's hated. I mean, LeBron is he's a little extra, man. He's a little extra. And I mean that, I can be extra. It's a lot of extra people out there, man, but hey man, I ain't got nothing to do with that, man. I mean, like if we was talking personal, we chop it up on that, man. But I'm already hip, man. I'm already hip. Patrick Ewing, no doubt, man. Patrick Ewing was one of my favorite players. He was on the team. He was on the Olympic team that beat the NBA 9-0. He was the center. And Patrick Ewing, before he got old, and them knees, like his knees was already bad, like 80s. He had them double knee pads, them big thick knee pads, man. But man, Ewing was one of my favorite players, man. But he could not top Olajuwon. He couldn't top Olajuwon. Olajuwon made Patrick Ewing look, like kind of bad in that series they played against Houston. And Olajuwon was doing that to everybody. He made David Robinson look like a kid. He had David Robinson on skates, man. What did like he was doing all kind of, like it was funny. That was funny, like that move weight, and then that man, King was something to see, man. A lot of what this list is preying on is people that didn't see this, and now I mean, it is what it is. Like a youngster's not gonna sit up and just listen to you regale the stories of like so and so. Like hey, they ain't gonna hear that. They got the internet. They think they can see it already. So like, but it's a difference than being told and then watching videos or than actually living through those times. No doubt. He had deadly jump shooter, man. Deadly. He hit a 3 on Boston to put Boston out in the playoffs in like 88. Like to end, like not to end the game, but like they had already beat him. And Patrick Ewing had chased this ball down that Oakley was throwing out of bounds. He grabbed it up, was at the 3-point line, and just threw that joint up. Man, that hit it, went in. Man, that was one of the hypest games, man. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, Penny would have did them right. That's what That's the sad thing about him and Olajuwon. That New York and Houston did not have a general manager that thought outside the box. They was thinking that like, yeah, we got the big center, we gonna take him. They wasn't even thinking about surrounding them. I think Houston fell into that by accident because Kenny Smith went to him. And Kenny Smith, I always liked Kenny Smith as a player back in the day, man. Kenny Smith was a nice point guard out of North Carolina. He was a nice guard, man, out of North Carolina. I was always pulling for Kenny. But Kenny, he went to Sacramento, then he went to, New York. I mean, he went to Atlanta after that. Then he landed on Houston, and Houston was almost like his last shot. So, like, he was balling out. Kenny Smith was balling in Houston. No doubt. Yep. They fell into Cassell and Ori. That was a hard team. And you know what? On Sam Cassell played at Florida State. Sam Cassell played with Charlie Ward and Bob Sura. They was the backcourt in Florida State, and they was killing. See, I got it in my head, man. I know what I'm talking about, and I ain't trying to say, but like my knowledge is just as good. You can take that to the bank. My knowledge is just as good as any other YouTuber that's out here, major or not. My knowledge is just as good. You can come check me on it. Serious biz. But yeah, man, I think I done, I appreciate everybody coming through, man. I appreciate this more action than I got when I was doing them games. But I'm gonna be out on this, man. I appreciate it again. Appreciate the new subscribers. Like, share, subscribe this one, man. Check out my other lives. Whatever. Grandpa out.